How would you like a time-tested, proven method to be able to generate 100 transactions a year in your business? If so, this is the video you're going to want to check out. I'm going to lay out the blueprint and show you exactly how to get to 100 transactions per year. Take a look. Hey everyone, this is Kevin Small with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're glad you're here. What we're all about is we help real estate agents dominate their digital marketing so that they become the go-to person for real estate in their area. We'll show you tips and tricks and strategies of how to generate more leads, more transactions. So if you want more strategies, more tips, more training just like this, then please consider subscribing. I promise it'll be worth your time. With that today's topic, what we're going to be getting into is the actual blueprint of how to get to 100 transactions per year. Yes, 100 transactions per year. So obviously that's a lot. That's a significant amount of business. And statistically, very few agents get to that level. But here's the thing, whether your goal is to get to 100 or 50 or 75 or whatever the number is for you, you can simply just scale and make these numbers work for you. I'm going to show you how to get to 100 and what it takes to get to 100. And then you can simply adapt that based on what your goals are. So with that being said, as I get into these numbers, keep in mind the full blueprint of how to do this, it's just too much to cover in one 10 to 15 minute video. So I've put together a full hour-and-a-half training where I'm going to be covering the full thing. And I'm going to be doing that on July 11th. In fact, down below, I'm going to be putting a link to the I'm going to be putting a link where you can register to attend the training live. We'll also do some Q&A, and I'll show you the full blueprint of how this works and what it takes. So if you're interested, again, go look at the description down below. You'll see that link. If you're having to watch this video after July 11th, number one, I will be doing these periodically, and number two, I'll also be recording a replay. So if you want that replay, just let me know. I'm happy to send that to you if this is after July 11th. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and get into this. So I'm going to share my screen. Perfect. So here's the thing. When you start looking at digital media as a whole, and you start looking where people are actually spending their time with online, their time online, these are really the big three. So the first player in the game is obviously Google. So Google is by far the single biggest website out there. They average, and this is absolutely staggering, but they average 3.5 billion searches per day. 3.5 billion searches per day occur worldwide on Google. The next big player is YouTube. On YouTube, YouTube has 5 billion video views per day. That is insane when you think about it. And it would be awesome if all 5 billion of them were my channel watching my videos. Obviously, that's not the case, but 5 billion video views per day, massive, massive audience. And then the third player in the industry that's the next biggest is Facebook. And Facebook has almost 2 billion active users that are on their platform every single day. In fact, they've done studies on mobile usage, and they found that 20% of all mobile usage is time spent on Facebook. So these are really the three big players in the industry. And the question that I'm always asking people is, you really need to do a self-evaluation. Where are you at with these three platforms? Are you consistently getting business, whether it's paid or unpaid, from Google? Same with YouTube, whether it's paid or unpaid traffic. Are you capturing that? And what about Facebook? Are you generating new leads, generating new opportunities? Are you present on Facebook or not? So what I find with so many people is Google, they have no idea how to do any of that. So at best, a very small percentage of you watching this, you may be doing some paid Google ads to be able to generate some traffic from Google. But for the most part, I would say the rest of you are probably doing very little, if anything, there. YouTube, in my experience, is an untapped opportunity for real estate agents. Very few agents do anything there. And with what I'm going to show you in the full webinar, I'm going to be showing you how to not only use YouTube as a way of generating leads, but it's also one of the best lead conversion tools as well. And so I'll be showing you how to use it from both perspectives. And then Facebook, that's what a lot of people know me for, is my strategies and tips for generating leads on Facebook. I do tons of that. But it's also important for people to expand. And so the question is, are you present and active? If you don't have things going on in these areas, then you really need to reevaluate your business, because there's just never going to be an opportunity for you to get to 100 transactions in a year if you don't have some form of leverage going on. I don't know of anybody doing that level of volume that's door knocking, that's doing open houses, that's cold calling. It's just too much volume to be able to do if you're not applying leverage, right? And the beautiful thing about these different systems that I'm going to show you, is that principle of leverage. With some money spent, you can actually be generating a ton of different leads. And I'm going to show you some examples. But you can be generating leads, new transactions, new opportunities, following up. If you don't have those systems in place, it's really impossible to scale to that kind of level of business. So let me just kind of walk you through this. The marketing plan and the system behind this is really broken up into these 4 different categories. You've got to have marketing, prospecting, sales, and service. If you don't have this flow going on in your business, then you're going to be struggling. So with marketing, our focus and objective is to get people to respond, have them become a lead. So when they become a lead, basically what happens is they've responded. It's kind of one-way communication, where there's not a whole lot, usually at this stage, there's not a whole lot going on, but we're just getting people to raise their hand and stating that they're interested. So we have different campaigns, different lead generation ads, and things that we do to get people to raise their hand and say that they are a lead. Now, once they have become a lead, our next objective is to turn that lead into a prospect, and that's going to be through our prospecting methods. So with the prospecting methods, it's about interacting, qualifying that lead, and this is where the difference between a lead and a prospect is: a lead is just one-way communication. A prospect, they're starting to respond. So you're able to find out, whether they're financially qualified, what their time frame is for buying a home, et cetera, et cetera. And so that is the difference between leads and prospects. Now with sales is how we turn prospects into clients. So the way that we do that is by having a consistent follow-up system. One of the big mistakes I find a lot of agents make out there is, even if they have done something to start generating leads, they'll contact a lead once or twice, and then if nothing happens, they call it a quote-unquote bad lead, and they move on. And what I found from experience is, in most cases, it takes a lot more contacts than that for people to develop a level of confidence in you, to get to the point where they know, like, and trust you, to where they would actually do business. So yes, one of the big myths is that we can generate leads today, but the myth is that people think that those leads are going to turn into business today. And that is absolutely not the case, especially in the real estate industry. They're going to need time to fix their credit. They're going to need time to get a down payment. They're going to need time to get the house ready to sell. There's tons of different scenarios, but very, very, very rarely is the person who responds today ready to do business with you today. And even if they were ready to do business, there's a good chance that they don't trust you yet. And so we need this process in place to be able to develop that trust, so that when they are ready, you're the go-to agent that they think of. And then the last part of this process is, by providing great service, by letting them have a great experience, they become a raving fan. These are the people that are going to leave you reviews and testimonials, which are really important for marketing. And these are also the people who are most likely to refer you. And that basically just starts this loop over again, where those referrals go into the leads that we've generated, and we just keep moving them through this process. Now, this is the process and the strategies and the system behind how to get to 100 transactions a year. Now, with that in place, let's talk about the math of this. So let's just say, for example, that you have a list of 500 people that you know. So your past clients, your sphere of influence, most people have several hundred people that they know, whether they have a business relationship with them or whether it's just personal. But in either case, anytime you're dealing with people where you have a relationship with them, conversion rates are always going to be higher. So you absolutely have to have some marketing going on with this group of people. In fact, a lot of what I'm going to show you inside that webinar is how to have a system that's touching them and marketing to them many times throughout the year, and having a lot of that automated to where it's very, very simple and not taking a ton of your time. So if that's the case, let's say you've got a database of 500 people that we're working with. Well, the simple math is that in the industry, the average is people move every 7 to 10 years. So just to take a little bit of a conservative look at this, let's use 10 as the figure. People move every 10 years. So if that's the case, the math of that means that 1/10 of your database is going to be moving this year. So in that case, 500 people, we take 1/10 of that. That means inside this group of 500 people, 50 of them, 50 transactions are going to occur within this group in the next 12 months. So again, if you are consistent and you're purposeful about the marketing that you do with this group of people, you've already got a good chunk of those transactions sitting there with people that already know who you are. If your database is bigger, then obviously this number just means even more for you. If you have 1,000 people, then it's very possible that you can get all 100 of those transactions from what you're already doing, if you were really focused at marketing to this group of people. If you haven't been in this business for a long time, you don't have past clients to work with, that's okay. Start with your SOI. Get them to the point where they know and think about you as the real estate professional. And again, this is all part of what we're going to be showing you in that full-blown webinar. Now, again, if you're consistent in your marketing, you should be winning almost all of that business, right? Because again, these are people that know, like, and trust you, and it makes a huge, huge difference. So now the question is, if we've done that and we've captured most of that or all of that, most of those 50 transactions, then to get to 100, we need 50 more transactions to come from somewhere. And where this comes from is this comes from our marketing efforts like you saw on the last slide. So we need to know what your lead conversion rate is to figure this out, to know how many leads we need to generate. So what we do is we take the number of transactions that you've generated, we divide by your conversion rate, and that tells us how many leads we need to generate. So in this case, if you have 50 transactions and your lead conversion is the standard 1%, then you're going to need about 5,000 leads in your database. Now, if you're going to implement the systems that I'm showing you, you're going to be better than the industry standard. And so let's say that we double that you have a 2% conversion rate. If that's the case, then the math is 50 divided by 0.02. That means over a year, you need to generate 2,500 leads. Or if you do the math, that's 208 leads per month. Now, a lot of you are thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of leads. Where does that come from, and is it even possible? It comes from a variety of sources. It comes from the marketing that we do on Facebook. If you've watched any of the videos on my channel, then you know I have lots of different lead generation campaigns and things that I teach to do that. In fact, I'm going to put a link up here to one of the most recent ones I've done of showing you how to be generating a mass amount of leads. But it comes from the Facebook marketing, from the YouTube, from the paid stuff that we do on Google. It comes from your from referrals from your SOI. It comes from open houses. It comes from a variety of sources. In fact, I would be the first person to tell you if it came all from one source, that creates some instability in your business, because if that one lead option ever goes away, now you're really struggling again, right? So it comes from a variety of those different sources. But is that even real? So I'm going to be going through some details of how this works and how we do this, but I just wanted to share some quick little screenshots. So I'm going to show you 3 different screenshots from one of my clients' ad accounts. So this is the first month. You'll notice this is the month of April. In the month of April, he generated 328 leads. And as you see here, his ad spend was $649. That's what it cost him to do that. This is the month of May. So the results here, that is 388 leads over the course of a month. And that cost him $723. And then last month, in the month of June, he generated 371 leads at a cost of $800. So here's the thing. A lot of you are probably spending something to market your business. Maybe you're purchasing door hangers, or you're sending out direct mail, or you're doing all kinds of things. You're probably spending budgets that are similar to this, and in some of you, maybe even more. And the whole point of what I'm going to be showing you on the webinar is how to leverage your money to get here. Is it going to take some money to accomplish this? And the answer is yes. It's going to take you some money to leverage your advertising, get leads coming in so that you've got something to work with. Now, the results of what he's accomplishing with this is, again, remember how we talked about it takes a couple months to fill up your pipeline and have those people fix their credit and do all that stuff to get ready so that they become a transaction. Well, it's taken a couple months, but he's now at the point where my client is seeing about 4 to 5 transactions per month from the leads that he's generated on Facebook that are in his pipeline. Now, he's consistent in his follow-up. He's got some other agents who are helping him work through this list. So he's not doing all of this on his own, but this is feeding his team, right? So basically with that, he's able to generate 4 to 5 transactions a month from what he's spending. And if you do the math, 4 to 5 transactions for $600, $700, $800 spent, that makes all the sense in the world, right? That's a great return on his money. And so really the objective, and what I'm going to teach you in details during this long hour and a half training that I keep talking about, is I'm going to be showing you the details of how this works. It's just too much for me to cover in a 10 to 15 minute video. But these are the kinds of results that people are seeing. Just to show you one other example. One of my clients that I just started working with, it's been a couple of weeks, but this is her account. So we started running ads, you can see here, June 19th. And from June 19th through today, July 3rd, we've generated 147 leads. Now, just to kind of put that in perspective, she's running a budget of $10 per day. So basically over 3 weeks, in fact, it hasn't even been 3 weeks. It's been 16 days is the math of that. I believe that's the math. Anyway, 15, 16 days. And we've generated $147 on $150, $160 spent. So we're a little over $1 per lead, which again is insanely inexpensive. When you think about the things that you're currently doing to grow your business, direct mail, door knocking, cold calling, whatever it is that you're doing, chances are your cost per lead is so much higher because you're spending your time to generate the lead. And your time is so much more valuable than money, because when you're doing what you do, you're probably worth $300, $400, $500, even $600 or more per hour. That's what you're worth. Whereas this, it's so much less inexpensive to generate a lead. So this is really just the high level picture. These are the kinds of things I'm going to be showing you. But during that webinar, we're going to be talking about the actual campaigns people are running to get these results. The ways that we factor in YouTube and Google into what we do, how to create an irresistible offer that people are going to be responding to, and how to have follow-up systems that help you leverage your time so that you're able to achieve more with less time spent. This is what we're going to be showing you on the webinar, the blueprint of how to get to 100 transactions per year in your production. It's really exciting. I've never done this level of training before, so I'm excited to share all this information with you. Again, go check it out if you want to be part of that. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you found value in this video. It's just a matter of making sure that you've got systems in place. Again, the world is transitioning online. If you know that 90% of people are including online searches as part of their home search strategy, you're crazy if you don't have things going on, because this is where people are looking. You've got to have an online presence. You've got to have a social media presence. These are some of the best ways of generating leads very inexpensively that will help fuel your business and take your business to new levels. I'm excited to share this information with you, and I hope you join me. Now, again, if you found value in this video, please subscribe. Again, we appreciate you being here, and we have lots of different videos. In fact, I think we're close to 100 different videos now showing you different tips, tricks, strategies of how to generate leads. So feel free to go check those out. Also, please click the like button down below. It takes a split second, but that helps us tremendously as far as just getting the word out and helping more people grow their business. And then lastly, again, I'm gonna put a video up here and another one right here. If you want to go check out some of the other videos and see what we're all about, please go take a look at that. Just give you some more ideas and tricks for growing your business. Other than that, make it a great week. Appreciate you being here, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.